How are my favorite girls in the world doing? I am so excited to be here. I have been having a lot of realizations in my life through all the death and rebirth that I've been going through. So, a lot of perspective shifts, a lot of mindset shifts, a lot of kind of insights that I've been getting from the universe itself about not just my journey, but things that I feel like the world really needs to hear right now. And you guys, like, I know it's one of those moments in time that I talked about this before, that a lot of people are going through a lot of frustrating cycles, and it almost feels like a never ending cycle of like, oh my god, like we're back here again, right? But this is because the universe is really calling us to like choose who we want to be. And that's where today's episode kind of comes to, a need of being created, because I feel like it's so easy to be like, yeah, I want to change. Yeah, I want my life to like transform. Yeah, I want to manifest this. Yeah, I want to manifest that. Yeah, I want to feel more confident. Yeah, I want more money, whatever it is that, whatever preferred reality you have for you, whatever vision you desire for your life. There's a desire, there's a goal, there's a vision, there's something there. There's a wish, right? But how do we get that wish to come from a wish to a reality? Like, how can we stop wishing and start moving in a way that naturally puts us in the path to all those things that we want to create? Like, that's really the question, right? Like, what more do I need to do? I feel like that's a big question. It's like, I feel like I'm never doing enough. I feel like there's just so much going on in my life. I don't even know where to start. And it feels more frustrating like every single day, because it feels like we just can't seem to move forward. We can't seem to like get out of that rut, get out of that feeling of like repetition or stagnation in our lives. How can you actually move forward and create the growth that you want? That's what I'm going to be answering today. What a powerful introduction, by the way. I'm feeling so professional. but but that's kind of what I really want to get into today from the universe insights itself, because I feel like I have been in a place where I kind of feel the same, Like, I was feeling really frustrated in certain areas of my life, specifically within my business, because that's usually the biggest reflection that I have of my own shadows. It used to be my relationships, but as you know, currently I'm single, so there's not a lot of that going on. There's not a lot of reflection there. Um, I'm just not at that point. I'm sure it's going to happen at some point, and I'm going to have to handle it. But right now, my biggest reflection to my shadows and to the parts of me that I clearly need to work through or heal or integrate, like whatever it is, but the deep inner work that I need to do, that's being reflected to me through my business. My business is my biggest mirror right now. And it would be fun and interesting for you to also reflect, like, okay, what is the biggest mirror that I have in my life right now? What is that like area of my life or that person or that situation that keeps reflecting to me all the places that are unhealed, all the things that are unresolved within me, all the old stories, all the old beliefs. And I'm sure there's many mirrors in our lives. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a bunch. But what is that one area that you're like, oh yeah, like if I were to go there, it would probably like resolve a lot of shit in my life. You know what I mean? Right now, that's my business. It used to be my relationship. I did that, been there, done that, like finally was able to check that off my list of things to work through. It took 7 years to get through that, but we're here. Woo! Round of applause. Um, but I think this is important, to first off really understand what is your thing right now. Like, what is that trigger? What's your activator? This is the place that's going to create the most healing and transformation for you. So you knowing it is already like a step forward and getting the clarity that you want and really like moving with more momentum rather than just staying in stagnation and this frustration of like, ugh, I can't seem to like figure it out, right? Like I don't know how to move forward, or you either feel stuck, or there's just like, it feels like there's this wall that you need to break through. And that's normal. Like, that's normal. That usually happens when we are being reborn. It's like you have the cocoon, and for the butterfly to become the butterfly, they need to break out of the cocoon. And that's kind of where you're at right now, okay? You're in that place. It feels weird or dark or uncomfortable, or whatever it is just like, you're ready to burst through, you just don't know exactly how. Like, you don't know exactly what you need to do, you just know that there's something. There's clearly something, because what you're doing is not working, right? Like, what you're doing is just getting you where you've already been, but you want to go somewhere else. So how do you kind of create that bridge and cross it, and finally, like, can see who you get to become on the other side? And then obviously you're going to have more bridges, yeah, bridges throughout life. Like, you are going to continue to have this cycle of death and rebirth. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't just like go from having so many storms and having, like, I don't know, all these problems, or like, being a fucking human, to being a supernatural being, magical being, and only existing in unicorns, butterflies, and rainbows. Like, there's going to be rain, there's going to be storms. So I don't want you to have this illusion that you go from, being in a shitty place from being in an extraordinary, awesome place all the fucking time. Like, you're still gonna have the roller coaster, you're still gonna have death and rebirth, you're still gonna have all that, but it's gonna come from a different place, because you are sitting in your power, and that changes things. Like, when you know who you are, and when you know how to take charge, when you know how to step into your power, no matter the situation, like, somehow things just end up resolving themselves, because you're not scared to, like, to show up like the person that solves them. And this is where I want to start, like, you really need to understand that if you want to change your life, if you want to transform your reality forever, if you really want to be like, yeah, like, attract the partner, or manifest the money, manifest the success, you just want to transform your life forever, like, you can't even fucking recognize it, you need to take charge. Like, you need to take charge of your life. You need to take charge of, like, where your power lies in your reality, right? Because obviously there's the universe, which is always going to be a force of some kind, but you continue to be the main factor. Like, you continue to be the most impactful factor of all, right? When you know your place, and when you know how you can, like, really hit it in the right spot so that things shift, then you're in power, and then you control, like, you decide the life that you get to live, because that's not decided for you. Like, that's not the universe that chooses your destiny. Like, I hate that type of conversation. Absolutely not. You get to choose your destiny, and the universe will always help you choose it. The universe will always reflect to you the choices that you're making, but sometimes those choices are being very unconscious of you. Like, you might not realize that you're choosing comfort. You might not realize that you're choosing familiarity. You might not realize that you're choosing to settle, and choosing the bare minimum, and choosing safety in heavy, big ass quotes, rather than choosing to leap, rather than choosing to take a stand for your life. Stand for what you want. Stand for what you know you deserve. Stand for the life you desire. Hold those high standards, and ultimately only be available for that. Show up like you're only available for that. Like, that is different. It's a completely different type of energy, and it's a completely different approach. So the universe will align with those choices. Okay, the universe doesn't decide for you, you decide. But right now, maybe you don't realize that certain decisions that you're making or not making are the reason why you keep coming back to those same old patterns. And maybe that's the reason why you just feel like you're always repeating the same story, always the same drama, always the same situation. Like, oh, why do I keep attracting guys that don't want to be in relationships? Why do I keep struggling to, like, have money at the end of the day in my bank account? Like, why do I struggle to save? Why does it feel like I'm always running out of money? Why does it feel like all my friends are betraying me or leaving me left to right? Like, there's a reason for those patterns. And when you learn how to read in between the lines and ask yourself, okay, like, but where does this really start? And then you realize it actually starts with you, and whether that's like a limiting belief or one that's playing out or like some kind of narrative. But when you understand what that is, then you gain back your power, which is why I love that last week's episode was all about the art of noticing. It was all about self-awareness, and I would definitely recommend that you listen to that first, okay? Like, if you haven't already, I know a lot of you have, but if you haven't already, go listen to that first if you want to dive deeper into it, because the art of noticing, like, understanding yourself, I guess ultimately that's it. Like, understanding yourself is a very important part of the equation. Like, you can't just bypass that part. Like, you need to know you. You need to understand the deepest depths of yourself and your soul, whether that's your ego, your ego's responses, your shadow, how it works, the different shadow aspects, like your inner child, then you have your inner teenager, then you have your traumatized self, then you have the daddy issue. Like, you need to understand how, not just that those exist within you, but like how they play out in real life, right? Like, for example, I know that when I get into my wound of I'm not good enough in my business, I know that I like instantly have this response of I want to do something. Like, I need to do anything. Like, literally anything. I just need to be busy. I just need to do something, and I start over worrying about the wrong things, and I take out my focus from the places that I actually need to put my focus in, because I'm just trying to like get something done rather than doing it from the right place, right? For example, in love, because I've noticed that I have this kind of anxious attachment to the things that I want. Some people are avoidant, some people are anxious. We can all be both, by the way, but I do feel like at the core I end up being anxious, like a lot. In my relationships it would be the same thing. Like, if I was kind of questioning whether a guy wanted me or not, and I was entertaining that shit and completely out of alignment, of course, then I would go into this anxious energy of like, oh my god, like, why is he hasn't he responded yet? Why is he blah blah blah? Like, am I overthinking this? Am I crazy? Am I blah blah? Am I So you kind of go into that energy. That's how I've noticed that happens for me. So understanding your process is going to be really, really helpful when you want to kind of break the cycle, when you want to break the pattern and you want to introduce something new. So that's the first thing. But a lot of the times, let's fucking face it, like, you might move through life on autopilot. And I think that's where the problem kind of starts. Not to call you out, but I think that's where the problem starts. Like, you are on autopilot, hence you not understanding how shit keeps happening in the same way. You don't even notice and recognize like what is playing out is a pattern, and it's not just like the universe choosing for you. It's not just bad luck, it's not just misfortune, it's not just like, a bad day. No, like, it's always, there's always a hidden meaning behind everything. There's always a hidden meaning behind everything. And when you understand that, you start looking at life differently. So let's start with that. Okay, let's start with that shift in perspective. Like, nothing is ever happening to you. Everything is always happening for you. Everything that is always happening is either to help you or to help you help yourself. Let's put it that way, right? The universe is either supporting your vision or waking you up so that you can support yourself, because the universe is noticing like, okay, you're standing in your own way, bitch. Like, let's work on that first. But then if you're avoiding it, and if you continue to have this like passive approach to life, you never get to crack it. Like, crack it. You never get to crack the code. You never get to understand the like deeper meaning of what's going on in your reality. And so you just kind of keep moving without intention. You keep moving without direction, because maybe you have all these wishes in your head. Maybe you have all these things that you wish would change, but like, who are you being? How are you embodying that desire? Because if you're saying like, oh yeah, I wish he'd be different, but then you keep calling him and you keep answering his calls and you keep not blocking the guy, like, bitch, I mean, that's on you, right? And if you keep being like, oh, I never have money at the end of the month, and I'm always like going from paycheck to paycheck, but you're not really paying attention to your money mindset. Like, like, nowadays, thank fucking gods, we have the tools to change those things. We have the tools to choose differently. So you need to understand that moving from autopilot will never be the solution. You have a routine. You have a set of choices that you make automatically every single day. You wake up, you go to your phone most likely, you text that friend, and then you go to work and you gossip about your coworkers and things like that. And you do that on repeat every single day. Can you fucking wonder the charge that that's having in your life? Is that actually helping me live the life that I want? Is my higher self in agreement with how I'm living my life? Like, would your higher self be gossiping at work? Or would she be getting shit done, leaving, and saving her energy for much more important matters? What would she be doing? Would she be engaging in conversation with a guy who was like, oh yeah, let me just like go with the flow here, like I don't really want a relationship yet? Would she? No, absolutely not. She knows she's worthy of the like highest level of devotion, okay? She's worthy of that. She doesn't beg. If you don't want her, if you're slightly indecisive, you're gone. Like, or she is gone in this case. She's not gonna try to change the guy. She's not gonna try to, you know, like force him to like her. She's not gonna try to convince him that she's like worthy of his love. Like, absolutely not. She's gonna walk away the second she sees some incongruence. She's gonna leave the second she notices he's not sure of what he wants because she hates indecision. She knows what she wants and she's only available for that. That's a different energy. And if you know that that's the bitch that you want to be, if you know that that's how you want to live your life because you want the best out of the best, because you want to feel good about your money, because you want to not feel drained at the end of every day after you leave your job, then how can you show up in a way that supports you? And what are you doing right now that is going against that? When you start coming from that active place in your life of like, no, like I get to choose. It's my decisions that shape my reality. It's my decisions that shape how I feel. It's the way I live my life. It's the way I approach my life. It's the way I think about everything, including myself. That changes my reality and the way I show up. When you understand that you are the most important part of the equation, you look at it differently. And I'm not saying that you have to like shit on yourself like, "Oh, this is all on you, you fucking bitch. You're destroying my life." Like, no. Please don't do that. Believe me, I've fallen into that trap many fucking times. There's no need for that, okay? This is not about blaming yourself. This is not about shaming yourself. This is just about acknowledging that you have a fucking choice. And how fucking good is that? How powerful is that? How powerful are you that you get to create the reality you've always wanted? That you get to gift yourself with that opportunity. How fucking awesome is that? That you get to build the momentum of the life that you want to create so that things start naturally showing up in your life to the point where you don't even fucking comprehend how some things come to be, and yet they do. You don't even understand how suddenly you're having like opportunities show up to you left and right when you were literally begging, struggling, chasing, crawling for opportunities before. And now it's like they're just here. They're just here. They just show up. I don't need to do anything besides be myself. How fucking awesome is that? You know what I mean? And I just feel so called to share this right now. I'm not going to share this anywhere else, but you guys have privileges because you listen to me. You listen to my rants. No, but for real, Lisa, you know, my best friend, as all of you, I feel like all of you know her, but for the new girlies here, she's my best friend, my wifey, my girly, my I don't know, sister, everything. She's my soulmate. And she is gonna have a wedding this month. Obviously, she doesn't live with like in Portugal. She doesn't live in my country. She's from the Netherlands. I'm from Portugal, which is a few hour flight, like 3 hours of flying. But the thing is, you know, it's not always possible to meet for coffee. You know what I mean? But it's her wedding and I really wanted to go. But unfortunately, I'm in the process of like moving out. I'm saving for so many things. And I told her, like, I know you're not going to have like an official wedding. It's just going to be like the signing the papers. So you're going to do that at court. Like, it's not like there's going to be a ceremony at all. She didn't want to do anything like that. She just wanted to sign the papers and go on the honeymoon. And I was like, you know, I really want to go, but at the same time, I feel like it's not in alignment for me right now to use my money to do that. So I just kind of let go. It was really hard for me to say that to her because, of course, I wanted to go. Like, she's my best friend. Like, it's going to happen once in a lifetime. And I wanted to see her because we don't get to see each other like every fucking week. You know what I mean? So what happened was I just kind of surrendered. And I was like, you know what? Like, I really want to go. But if I'm meant to go, the universe will figure it out. The universe will find a way. Dude, girl, 2 days ago, My mom was talking to me about how she hasn't gifted me a birthday gift for the last 2 years because she always forgets. My parents always do because I mean, I'm a Leo. It's August and you're on vacation. People forget. Sometimes I wasn't in Portugal. So, it kind of created that thing of like, they ended up forgetting. They're like, oh, we can do this, but then we would never do the thing. Um, so what happened was my mom wanted to gift me something around like 200 euros type of budget. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't have anything that I can think of. And then 2 days ago, I was like, oh my God, I haven't claimed that yet. Like, I just realized that my mom wanted to offer me that. So instead of offering me the thing that she was thinking about, this is much better. Because now Lisa decided that she wanted to do like an actual wedding with the reception. She actually manifested the whole thing. Like, her aunt is going to pay for it. And so the point is, I have the flight now and I'm going to see her in 10 days. I'm going to be there for her wedding, which I was not expecting. I was not planning, but it just happened. The opportunity presented itself and I took it, you know? And I'm so grateful for the universe. I'm so grateful for my mom. That was such an awesome, like, birthday gift, two birthday gift. But ultimately, what I want to say is like, sometimes the best opportunities, you don't even fucking see them. Like, I'm currently working as a babysitter, and the way I got to know this mom, it was literally during playground for another job that I was doing. And we just kind of started talking. She was a DJ, she was spiritual. I was like, oh my God, you're awesome. Let's like exchange contacts. And then she asked me, like, oh, can you like take care of blah, blah for this day? And I was like, yeah. And now I'm literally working with her pretty much full time. Things come to you when you are in alignment. Like, that's the greatest thing in life. You don't have to force things into existence. You don't have to force for the right partner. You see me chasing, going on date after date after date just because I'm desperate for a man, just because I want to meet my husband. No, because when I really tap into my inner knowing, I know that it's not the time. I know that right now I'm building other things, and I know I want to have them built before he comes. I know that I want to move out before he comes into my life. I know I want to be a little bit more settled in my business before he comes, because I know he's going to sweep me off my feet. I know I'm going to, oh my God, lose it over this man, and I know he's going to lose it over me, but the point is, oh my God, like, I know that's going to be such an emotional roller coaster to handle that much like love, and I know it's going to take some inner work possibly, because it's possibly going to trigger me a little, like, oh my God, he is so cute, he's so perfect, he's so blah blah, but like, I know there's like a trigger there that might happen. So I'm already preparing for that. Like, no, I want to make sure that I'm already settled in my life to a certain degree, so that when that person comes, I'm not really like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's awesome, but like, have you seen me? Like, have you seen what I've built? Have you seen the value that I bring to my life every single day? Have you seen like what I have? Like, I don't need you, but I want you. So I want to go from it that way. And I know I don't need the house necessarily, but I do feel like I'm meant to figure those things out first and kind of put that into place, create that structure for myself and for myself. Like, I mean that, and then make space for that. But if I was in my fight or flight and if I was on autopilot, that's what I would do, because that's what people are telling you that you should do. That's what I felt like I would be obligated to do, because like, oh my God, everyone has a boyfriend right now. Oh my God, like everyone, blah, blah, blah. And so I would just go on dates mindlessly because I thought that that's like what I need to do, and I would be on autopilot and I would be really in lack because I'm not really paying attention to what is actually calling me right now. And that's the power of being aware of yourself. That's the power of not being in autopilot. When you're on autopilot, you're not really choosing. You're not really choosing who you want to be. You're not really choosing how you want to show up. And there's such a big difference in the life you create when you are in your power rather than in autopilot. Those things don't usually coexist unless you have done the work for so long that your autopilot is you being in your power. That's your default setting. But that takes time. Like, I feel like I'm not even there yet in a lot of areas of my life, because it takes, like, it literally is deconstructing your entire personality and like creating a new one. That takes time because you've been building this one for like 20 years at least. So it takes time. I'd say like a lot of people that I've met and I've had so many conversations here on the podcast, they're all still building the foundation. There's possibly like one or two people that I'm like, okay, you're settled in this identity already, and I feel very settled and like in a lot of ways. But there's other places where I'm still like, you know, polishing, and I'm still feeding those places, feeding the version of me that I know I get to be. It's not that I have to be, it's not that I'm meant to be necessarily, because you're not. I mean, I really believe that you're not necessarily meant to be anything. It's more like you get to be it. If you want it, then you get to be it. You know? It's your destiny to be who you want to be. That's your destiny. That's what you're supposed to create for yourself. That's what the universe is calling you to do every single day. And sometimes in ways that you're not even realizing because, again, autopilot. But when you're building up frustration, things are not working out, and you seem to be in the same place over and over again, that's the universe talking to you. When you're constantly feeling triggered and the things that you want seem to continuously escape you, that's not a coincidence, right? Like, so understanding to read those underlines, very important. And between the lines, underlines, between the lines, well, either way, right? And so that's the kind of the first thing that I really want to say. It's so important to have an active approach to life. Whatever changes you want to create, okay, what do I actually need right now? Like, that's kind of how I looked into my money mindset. Like, I realized that every time I was spending money, I was kind of feeling this anxiety. Every time I was blah blah blah, I was struggling, and I was avoiding my bank account. I was avoiding looking at the numbers. But the thing is, like, do I want to feel empowered in this area of my life? Fuck yes. I want to feel empowered in every area of my life. So, of course. So, what would the empowered version of me do? Like, how would she move about it? How would she go about it? And I would say, like, okay, I think that the most empowered version of me would manage my account weekly or monthly. She would know exactly the money she has, and she would know that she is going to save it, invest it. She's going to use it. She's not going to be afraid of spending it. She's not going to be afraid because she knows she has enough. She knows, she trusts money. Money feels like a reliable source for her. Money feels reliable, money feels safe, money feels like incredibly juicy for her. Like, she doesn't struggle at all. Like, she has fun with her finances. She has fun managing her money. She has fun talking about money. She loves talking about money. She's obsessed with money, but in a good way. Like, she's just like, oh my god, yeah, money, period. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you create. Okay, so how can I show up as her? Because I'm clearly not there yet. So what do I need to do? Okay, I'm noticing that I have this, and this block, and these beliefs that are getting in the way. So how can I work on this? So you kind of work with yourself to get to where you want to go. And then the universe guides the rest. That's the thing. Like, you don't also need to figure it all out by yourself of like, okay, I have this like 30-day challenge of like fixing myself into being the version of me that I want to be. Like, it does not have to look that way. It gets to be a process. It is a process. It is a journey. And so you just kind of move with it, but you continue to be intentional about how you want to go about it. You continue to be intentional about who you know you want to be and where you know you want to go, how you want to feel in your life, and how can you meet that over and over and over again. And that means taking responsibility for the life that you're living. That means not leaving it up to fate, not like, waiting for someone to save you or waiting for someone to fix it for you, not waiting for the right answers, the waiting and the waiting and the waiting. That's just you creating excuses so that you're not out of your comfort zone. That's just you being fucking terrified of the unknown, being fucking terrified of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that's normal. Again, when you have the self-awareness, you understand that that's just like, okay, that's normal. That's part of it. So it's not going to hold you back anymore. It's not going to hold you down anymore. And then you create that with like, okay, like, I know I'm going to have to do things that I've never done before. I know I'm going to have to, take action in places that really scare me, that create very physical, like literal physical reactions in me that I hate, whether that's anxiety, whether that's you go into panic attack, or whether that's like just feeling really scared, like whatever it is. I know that like moving in that way is gonna be uncomfortable, especially at first. And I'm still gonna show up like that. And that takes courage. Like, that's true. That takes courage. That takes you learning how to lean into that belief in yourself that, like, I know this is gonna feel really shitty at first, but I know it's worth it because it's my life. When you learn to value your life, when you learn to value yourself, you understand that it's worth it. And I want to like highlight this again. Like, taking responsibility over your life does not mean that you need to shit on yourself. It doesn't mean that you need to be harsh, because again, I've fallen into that trap so many times. And that's not it at all. Like, it comes from self-compassion. It comes from what you know you get to create for yourself. It comes from, okay, I don't want to be an autopilot, because I'm recognizing consciously but with compassion that I'm repeating certain patterns that are not serving me, or I'm living my life in ways that, like, why am I wasting time here? Why am I wasting my resources here? Whether that's energy, money, time, whether that's my compassion, whether that's blah, 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 right? When you understand that you're sacred, you do not make yourself available for anything or anyone. When you know and you understand that your life, every single thing that you give to your life or that you give your energy to, matters, because it's either feeding your old cycles and keeping you exactly where you already are, so keeping you stuck, or setting you free, liberating you, helping you build the life that you actually want. When you understand that's either or, when you understand that you can't feed both things at the same time, when you understand that everything you're doing is either supporting your vision and taking you further, taking you higher into who you're meant to be, or just continuing to keep you in a place that you don't want to be at, you take yourself seriously, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you start being like, okay, I'm not playing anymore. That's what I mean. Like, stop playing with your life. It's not a fucking toy. This is not some kind of like thing you just waste, you know? It's not something you buy off a store and you just buy it for funsies and then you don't fucking use it ever. Like, this is your life we're talking about. It's invaluable. The valuable it has is immeasurable. You wouldn't sell it for anything, right? Like, understand that. Take yourself seriously enough that you're willing to lean into the discomfort, that you're willing to sit in the unknown, because believe me, you're going to have to do that. Believe me, you're not always going to know exactly how to move forward. Because this is the thing, being active in your life doesn't mean that you have all the answers. You don't. You never will. Being active in your life and taking charge. So that's what I mean with being active, is like taking charge of your life does not mean that you have all the answers. It doesn't mean that you always have clarity. It doesn't mean that you're always moving. You can be active in your life, take charge of your life, and rest. You can be active in your life and not know where to go next. You can take charge of your life and feel confused. Like, those things don't like eliminate each other. Those things don't like cancel each other out. But what happens is, when you are in charge and when you are active in your life, when you're an active presence in your life, let's say it this way, you recognize, okay, I don't fully know how to move forward, so let me sit here. So let me sit in the discomfort of not knowing. Let me sit in the unknown. And let me still show up in the best supporting way. So again, lately for me, that's been like every time I'm starting to feel that anxiousness towards like, oh my God, I should get more done, or I should blah, blah, blah. Then I'm like, okay, noticing. Again, with the auto noticing, definitely referring that episode over and over again, because you need to listen to that. But noticing how I feel, and then, okay, let me nurture myself then. Like, I don't fully know how to move forward, so let me just stay here, because it's not a coincidence. The universe always gives you the right answers at the right time. You're never missing out on the bigger picture. Like, the bigger picture either presents itself to you because it's meant to, or it won't because it's not meant to. Okay? Like, always trust the process. Trust that you have exactly what you need in order to be where you need to be, in order to get what you have, what you want to get. You know what I mean? So that's really fucking important. Being an active presence doesn't mean you have it all figured out. It just means that you're okay with not having it all figured out, because you're still showing up as your higher self. You're still showing up like focused on what's your best interest, you know? Just because I don't know who my husband is, okay? I don't have that figured out. I don't know exactly when he's going to be here. I don't know exactly where I'm going to have to like heal or work through in order for that to happen. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just trusting the process. And when I meet people that I'm interested in, sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure this is the person, but I'm curious to like know more about him. I will stay there until I know. But when I know, even if it's like the tiniest little voice, like this is not it, I'm not going to try to search for more there. I'm not. As soon as I know it's not in alignment, I'm gone. I'm done. As soon as I know something doesn't serve me, I'm gone. I'm gone. Like, I'm not going to waste my time. As soon as I know, okay, lean into this. And I'm like, but yeah, but this doesn't make sense. Like, what does this mean? Why am I supposed to go here? Why is the universe calling me to do this? Like, I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. I don't fucking care what my ego is gonna try to convince me of. I don't care how insane it looks for everyone else. I'm gonna go for it. That takes not just like radical responsibility, but like that takes guts, okay? That takes pussy. You know what I mean? That takes strength, and it's okay because you are strong as fuck. You are capable of so much more than you think you are. Like, your capacity to do and to endure discomfort is much greater than you think. And it will continue to expand the more you like allow yourself to lean into it, right? Like, it will continue to expand the more you allow yourself to lean into it. Sit with that. Sit with that for a little. This is what you need to understand, okay? Being active is not about having all the answers. It's just about doing what you can with what you have and doing it for you. Doing it considering, like, what would my higher self do? What's my best interest in this situation? How can I support myself here, right now, with what I have? That's it. It's just you not being an autopilot, not responding from your patterns, not responding from your old beliefs, but you're responding from your desire. You're responding from your intention because you understand the value in that. It's fucking immeasurable.